So the Nasdaq took a massive dive today. And in today's video, we're going to discuss what opportunities are present for y'all to pay very close attention to. Okay, we're also going to be looking at some of the stocks that I've mentioned in our last video. So let's dive into the charts right off the bat. We got the Nasdaq, and on Sunday night, I gave you guys a stock market crash warning. Okay, the market was a little red, and then at midnight on Monday, it was really red, as we can see here on the 15-minute, right over here. This is where we were after I released that video, and then somehow, some way, it pumped into the morning on Monday, which I didn't really understand this. And I didn't understand why the market would be so ruthless in not giving the short sellers an opportunity to make money intraday. I didn't get that, right? So this move right here on Monday is not something that I fully trusted. I didn't think that everything was going to be bullish because in my experience, when something like this happens overnight, when something like this entire thing, this entire move, the down and the up, that whole move happens, that bottom usually gets retested intraday, either within the next 2 days that follows. And we finally saw that today. We finally had that drop. And what I'm gonna say now with the daily chart, the bears are still in control. We're not bullish at all. I don't think we're going to magically turn around here. I don't think we're gonna get above 26,000. I believe the next target for the Nasdaq is going to be 25,000. Right, that level of support right here at the bottom, I think that's going to get hit. Right now, the market is trying to be a little bit positive, which is fine. But I don't think it will last. Tomorrow, I think we will get more negative, and I think we will drop here, and maybe going into Thursday and Friday as well. Okay. Now, let's check out, what time is it? Yeah, let's check out the VIX. We're gonna do VIX first. And VIX is still trying to climb. Today it only got up to 20 and then kind of sold off as the market was spiking in the afternoon. Will it get up here? Again, the market has to really sell off for us to see a giant candle, a giant green candle on the VIX. All right. Now, where are the opportunities for tomorrow? The opportunity that I'm waiting for, or that I'll be looking at tomorrow, is AMD. All right. Now, I want to share AMD with y'all because the stock or the company reported earnings today. And the good news is the puts got really, really, really cheap. That's the good news. And there isn't really any bad news. Only if you gambled long, that would be bad news for you. Like literally all of your calls would be at zero. But the good news for anybody who was on the sidelines on AMD, who were patiently watching and waiting, is that it's down. And the puts are not going to move, or they're going to be down a little bit, but that's fine. The volume is going to increase. There's going to be a big surge in the volume. So set an alert right here at 220. And then watch this one closely in the morning. I like the fact that it dropped, but it didn't drop too low. And I say this because there is room all the way at the bottom. You see these two lines right there? That's a giant gap. That's the gap from that OpenAI news that happened in October 2025. Okay? That's the gap that they left behind. And it's going to get taken care of eventually. Obviously, the question is, when is it going to get taken care of? I don't know. Okay? I really don't know. But I am bearish on it. And I will be on the lookout for structures intraday so that I can get in with puts to make money as it falls. I told y'all before, when a company does this, falls by 5 or 10% from earnings, what happens during the quarter that follows is a slow fade. It's a very slow, painful fade, right? So I do expect this thing to be down all the way back down to, I expected this gap to get filled by the end of the month. I think by the end of February, we should get down here. If it doesn't get down here that fast, then it might just take 2 months to get down here. But it's going to get down here. And now that I have the chart like this, Somebody could say that it's just retesting the neckline right there, which is true. But the retest was right here from Monday. This is failure. This is where the bears take over. And any retest of that red band that you'll see right here at 230 would just be an opportunity for short sellers to pile on with puts and to short this thing down. Okay, that's all it will be until 220 breaks. And I would say when 220 breaks, panic is really gonna kick in, and people who are looking to short this thing will make a lot of money from it. So that's my honest opinion on this one and why you should be keeping it in your watch list. Now let's do an update. Yesterday I talked about, not yesterday, in the last video, I talked about PLTR and how PLTR could potentially fall to 130. And then the stock had earnings and it crushed earnings, and the reaction matched the earnings report, which I guess is expected if a company beats. AMD beat, but that reaction was very negative. All right, so with this one we just had a pop all the way up to 165, and then we had a fade throughout the day. I still believe that it's going to drop down here. I don't think that the drop is done when we look at the weekly chart. Yeah, the weekly chart is still bearish. It's just not going to continue until next week. That's all this is. That's really all this is. It's still chilling around at the neckline, and it's going to be there. There might be some opportunities intraday, but the bigger move will happen either within a week or two. I would say the bigger move down, because I am still bearish on it, and the structure is still there. There's that gap right there that gotta be filled. Tomorrow's candle, if the market sells off, which I believe it will, should bring PLTR to look like this, and maybe this might end up here. All right, so keep PLTR on watch. The contracts got really cheap on it, especially after that earnings report, so this one is also something worth watching. Now, for those of y'all who have been watching the videos throughout the last, I think since last week, I gave you guys Microsoft, and I told you in Sunday's video that I too had Microsoft. All right, let me put Microsoft on here, and then I'm gonna clean up the charts. And with Microsoft, I still like it for a drop. I still like it for a drop. There is a structure that showed up, and I was waiting for a breakdown, and it broke down today and got us paid this descending triangle on the chart right here. Okay, it's there, it's quite clean, and then this morning it broke below 420. All of these dip buyers panic, all of their stop losses got triggered. Tomorrow, depending on where it opens, I still think the outcome is going to be the same. The gap below isn't fully filled yet. The gap below is right here at 395 right here. So right now we are in the middle of it, which is good. So if you have puts, you should have gotten paid. If you're still holding puts on it, which I still am holding puts on it, I am still holding puts on this one, then watch for a drop down here. Watch for the move to be complete. Okay, whether it opens here at the same price at 411 or opens up at 413 like it looks like it's about to now, something like this to finish off the move is what I'm looking for with Microsoft. The structure is very clean. Like, there is no hint here that says that this could be or is fake. There's really, I don't see it. I don't see it. Like, if you weren't in it, because I've been shorting Microsoft since earnings day at 432. Since Thursday, I have been holding, and I've been like, I collected some money today, but I pushed back my expiration dates at the close for the drop. All right, so I am still in this thing, and I think it can complete the move. So that's my thoughts on Microsoft. The next one that we're going to look at is Hood. Yeah, we got time. Now, I think I wanted to talk about Hood in the last video, but that video was getting a little too long. But with Robinhood, it's doing exactly what I told y'all it would do, which is to drop down to this alert right here, right? So it's nearly there. It's pretty much there. It's there. It's down to $85. Could it go lower? Yeah, it could. There are gaps below, but they're really, really low. They're really, really low. I think from this point, because the drop is so steep, it might play games until earnings. And then we might see something like what Palantir did, where the company beats, the stock pops, fills the gap at the top, right here, at 98, and then makes a dead cat bounce, and then falls back down again next month. So something like this wouldn't surprise me at all, but it looks kind of stretched to the downside. So I think it's going to play games and allow the moving average to catch up before the company reports earnings. All right, last one, because I know a lot of you probably have this in your mind. Google is reporting. What should you do? Personally, I'm not going to gamble through it. Google is showing a lot of strength and is squeezing higher and higher. It's trying to make new highs. Tomorrow is going to open at 344. Where will earnings take it? The trend is bullish on all time frames. Is it wise to fight this thing? No. I think the best case scenario is just to wait. It could be an IV crush where it opens at 355 and then immediately just fades and joins everything else on the collapse. That's the absolute best case scenario, because it will make the puts cheap, right? It will make the puts cheap and attractive for the short sellers who are looking to fade this thing down. At least that's the opportunity that I'll be looking at for Google. All right, I'm not trying to chase this thing long when the indices are rolling over. I just don't think that's a smart move. Okay, so that is pretty much it, and that's my thoughts on all of these stocks, and that's the end of the video. Again, I am not your financial advisor. Do your own research. I repeat, do your own research, because I'm not always right. Okay, don't forget to follow me on social media. I'm Paul and Guman at Payrolls Lab on Instagram and on X. And lastly, don't forget to like and follow for more.